guys, Cassie here. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the real life tag created by fellow AuthorTuber Sarah Scharnweber. She created this tag and she tagged me in it as well, and I'm super excited about it because there are lots of fun, awesome questions. I will link her original video down below if you want to check it out. There are 8 questions to this tag, so let's get started. Question number 1. Are you a morning person or a night person? So growing up, I was definitely always a night person. I don't think I've ever been a morning person in my life. But honestly, lately that's kind of been changing a little bit. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older, but I think it might be just the fact that I've embraced the fact that I have a lot of things I want to do in life, and I want to be productive and efficient with my time. And the best way to do that is to get up a little earlier so that I have more time in the day to do more things. So for that reason, I have been waking up earlier lately than I ever used to, and honestly, I don't really mind it that much. I will say though, I am definitely not a morning person in the sense that like, I'm gonna wake up and be all peppy and wanna go chat with people. Like, I don't wanna see other humans or speak to them or have them speak to me for at least like an hour or so after I wake up. But aside from that, I do enjoy nowadays waking up a little earlier so that I have more time in the day to accomplish all of my hopes and dreams. Question number 2. What is your favorite hobby? Well, besides writing, which is obviously very high up there on the list, I would say my favorite hobby is watching television. I've always really loved movies and TV as a kid, growing up, and I still do. And it's honestly how I've learned a lot of how to create a good story and captivating characters. I've never really been like a super huge reader, not nearly as much as most authors are. I've always preferred television over books when it comes to like entertainment in fiction. I think for me the hierarchy would go TV, then movies, and then books. Not that I don't love books, they're great, and if I happen to find a book that I'm like super captivated by, then I love reading, but it's just really hard for me to find books like that. So yeah, my favorite hobby is definitely watching TV, and I would say my top 5 favorite TV shows at the moment are Doctor Who, Supernatural, The Good Place, The Office, and Parks and Recreation. I guess that's a good mix. I've also been really enjoying Supergirl lately, although I haven't seen season 3 yet because it just came on Netflix at the same time as season 13 of Supernatural, so we've been watching that first, but I will get to it soon. Question number 3. Do you have a day job? And if so, what is it? I am a professional housekeeper. That's what I do for a living. I've been doing that for pretty much like as long as I've had jobs. I was thinking about it, and really the only job I've ever had that wasn't cleaning related was when I worked at Kohl's for like 2 months or something. But aside from that, ever since high school, I started out just working like on the side for a couple different people to make a little extra cash in high school and college. And then I started working at Holiday Inn as a housekeeper, which was actually kind of a lot of fun in a lot of ways, but not so great in others. And then I worked at Merry Maids for 6 months, which was not great. I mean, I don't want to like badmouth the company, but it was a horrible experience and I hated every minute of it. So after working there for 6 months, I went back to the hotel and I worked there for a while. I was a supervisor there for a while, which wasn't my favorite thing. I'm not really cut out for supervising, honestly. I don't like critiquing people and telling them what they did wrong and having that be my entire job. I would rather just clean the rooms, honestly. And then after that, I decided to start my own business. So that's what I've been doing now since January of 2015. I've been running my own cleaning company and I have my own private clients, and now my husband actually works with me as well. So I went back to supervisor mode for a little while there with having to teach him the ropes and show him what he's doing wrong, which wasn't my favorite thing, but my husband's super awesome and nice and, you know, made it really easy for me to do and handles criticism very well. So that was nice. So yeah, that's what we're doing now. I clean houses for a living. So if you need any cleaning tips, let me know in the comments below. I've got tons of them. Question number 4, do you use your writing in your everyday job? No, I do not use my writing in my day job. I would say the most I use it would be like when I made our website for our cleaning business. I had to like write some stuff about me and my experience and stuff, but I mean, that's just basic job stuff, like basically like writing a resume. So not a whole lot. Although I will say my day job is very, very helpful in my overall writing process, in the sense that it gives me a whole lot of mental freedom to daydream and come up with ideas and think through different pieces of dialogue or character development or plots or whatever. Because cleaning is not really a very mentally stimulating job, especially when you've been doing it as long as I have, and a lot of the clients I've had for a long time. So not only have I been cleaning houses for years and years, but I've been cleaning their house for a year or more. So I'm very used to the process and it doesn't take a lot of thought. So it's mostly just physical work, which means that it leaves my mind open to explore other things while I'm cleaning. So that's really nice. I also even listen to AuthorTube videos on YouTube a lot while I'm cleaning too. So I'm kind of expanding my craft a lot throughout the day in my day job, which is actually like one of the biggest things that I really love about my job, and that would make me not want to quit my job and go do something else, because I can't imagine any other job giving me that kind of freedom to watch YouTube and listen to podcasts and all of that kind of stuff while I'm working. So I am very grateful for that, for sure. Question number 5, what is your ideal day off? My ideal day off would be to do nothing and have to see nobody. That sounds great. Mostly the last part though, because I do kind of like to have something to do. I'm a very busy kind of person, especially like my hands. My hands need to be busy. My mind can be vegging out on TV, but I can't just watch TV all day without doing something. I have to like, I don't know, have something to organize or something to do physically, so I'm not just sitting there all day. But definitely my ideal day off would be a day in which I don't have to worry about any other people. It sounds kind of terrible. It's just really nice when I know that I'm gonna have the whole day at home by myself. I can do whatever I want. I don't have to update anybody on what I'm planning to do. I can just do it. So yeah, that's really the main thing. Just not having to be around people and being able to just do whatever I want. Most of the time that would probably be watching TV or writing or like cleaning the house or something and just listening to YouTube podcasts. I don't know, something like that. But it might be something totally different. Maybe I feel like going out and doing something outrageous that day. Who knows? Probably not though, because I don't do outrageous things very much. But hey, at least if I have the whole day off and no responsibilities and no one to have to check in with, I can decide in the moment what I want to spend my time on. That's 8. Question number 6. Are you introverted or extroverted? Well, in case you couldn't tell from the answer from that last question, I am a hardcore introvert, for sure. So my favorite explanation of like introverts versus extroverts is that extroverts get their energy from being around other people and they spend their energy when they're alone. Whereas the opposite is true of introverts. They get energy from being alone and then they spend energy when they're with people. I really like this example because I think it's a common misconception that extroverts hate being alone or that introverts hate being around people or they don't like people. Contrary to what my answer to that last question might make you think, I actually really love people and I like being around them a lot. And if I go weeks and weeks without seeing my family or my friends. Like, I want to go do something and be with people. But it takes a lot of energy for me to do that. It's like when I'm at home by myself, or even just with my husband, although that is sometimes even a little bit too much. But if I'm at home by myself, it's like I am plugged in, I'm charging constantly and I'm not gonna lose that charge. But as soon as I go out and plan to be with other people, it's like I unplugged myself and now I'm running off of my battery. So if I am with people for a couple hours, then that's fine. My battery lasts that long, and then I'll go home and plug it in again. But if I'm gonna be around people for like the entire day, I'm gonna start to get super drained and crabby and just wanna go be alone for a bit. So yeah, I am definitely an introvert, and that is how I like to look at that distinction between the two. It's also worth noting that extroverts don't hate being alone either. That just costs energy for them as well. Like being with people costs energy for me. They're excited about people and they are energized when they're with people, and they need to go do that often. But that doesn't mean that they hate being by themselves or they never want to be alone. It's just that after being alone for a certain amount of time, they start to get a little antsy and they need to go be around people again. Number 7, name a personal weakness. Well, I have quite a few of those. The first one that comes to mind, I guess, is that I am pretty critical of myself a lot of the time, especially when it comes to writing, but also especially when it comes to social situations, which is really funny because I was never that way in high school, like at all. Honestly, I think part of this has to do with being homeschooled. Like, I've thought about it a lot, and I think I was homeschooled up until like my sophomore year of high school, and I think that just built up my confidence so much. Like, I just didn't really have that kind of nervousness around new people. It was just like, I'm me and I like who I am, so why wouldn't they? So high school for me was like pretty easy. Being around new people all the time, it was like, oh, like, of course they're gonna like me and this will be great. We'll be buddies. And then I think when I hit college is when things started to get more difficult, and I started to become a lot more like, not really like, it wasn't my confidence or my self-worth, because I really loved who I was, and I still feel that way. I love who I am. I just struggle to believe that other people are going to like who I am. So it's not really an issue of like self-worth, because I'm fine by myself. I think I'm pretty awesome and funny and whatever. And I know that God loves me, which is really the most important thing. But I just struggle to believe that other people actually want to be around me for some reason. And it's really weird to me because I never ever had that until college. I don't know what it was about college, and it's not like I had a terrible college experience, but for some reason that point in my life is when I started to get this, oh, I don't know, maybe people don't actually like me, and maybe they're just saying that to be nice, and maybe they don't actually really want to hang out with me. And yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's definitely a personal weakness of mine. I don't really know what to call that, because I don't think it's a lack of confidence or self-worth. I guess it's just like maybe social anxiety would be a good word for it. I just like question myself a lot, I guess, in social situations, sometimes when it's happening, or sometimes just later. Like, I'll be totally fine the whole night, and then I'll get home and be like, oh, why did I say that? Like, I bet she was mad at me for saying that, or I bet, like, I hope I didn't offend that person when I said that, or whatever. And another aspect of this is that I'm not very good at taking compliments because I just kind of assume that people are just saying it to be nice or whatever. Especially like solicited compliments. Like, if I know someone's reading my book and I ask them like, hey, what did you think? Then it's like anything they say at that point, I'm not gonna believe it. I'm just gonna assume that, they were put on the spot and I asked them what they thought. Of course they're gonna say nice things. That being said, if someone goes out of their way, completely unsolicited, to come to me and say, hey, I bought your book last week and I read it and I really loved it and it was great and I liked this part specifically and I think you're really good at this, you know, those kinds of specific compliments, especially when I'm not expecting them, that really means a lot, because I can believe those more, because it's like, there was no reason for that person to do that. They weren't put on the spot. I didn't even know they had my book, so I wasn't like waiting to hear from them or anything. They just really did like it and came and told me that, and that really means a lot to me. So yeah, I'm socially anxious sometimes and a little bit awkward sometimes and not great at taking compliments or believing that people actually like me. So, we got real deep in this one, didn't we? See, this is one of those things that I'm gonna be socially anxious about later. Number 8, name one thing you'd like to change about your life and why. So I'm gonna name 2 things, because one of them is the same thing that Sarah said in her video, because I think it kind of could apply to any of us AuthorTubers, and that is that I would love to be a professional author full-time. However, I will clarify, it's more that I would like to not have to have an income or a job of my own, like maybe my husband's working, but I don't have to, so that I can write full-time. But I don't know if I necessarily want writing to be like my career or my job, in the sense that, like, I don't know if I want an agent or a publisher like having deadlines for me and like things. I don't know. I'm not sure if I would handle that very well, because when I put those kinds of deadlines and stuff on myself, it generally tends to kill all of my creativity. So I'm not sure if I would really do well with that. But basically, I would love it if I didn't have to work, so that I could spend a whole lot more time writing, or even working, but like on my own terms, you know? Like I said, I'm a very busy person. I don't like to sit around and just do nothing. So if I didn't have to have a job, I probably would still have a job. But the second thing that I would really love to change about my life is that I would like to be completely debt-free. And when I say debt-free, I don't mean that like I have a bunch of credit card debt or something. I don't really have a lot of debt at all. I have a car loan and that's it. But I would really love to pay off my mortgage. I think it would be super awesome. That's a big goal that my husband and I have right now, is to work hard on paying off our mortgage really quickly and then saving up to buy a rental property, so that we have some income coming in from there, so that we don't have to work as much of our like regular jobs, so we have more time off. So that's something I'm like working towards already, but if I could just snap my fingers and have it happen, then that would be awesome. If I could have my mortgage paid off and have a rental property making some sort of passive income for me, that would be great. So that is the last question for this tag. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, and if you want to see more from me in the future, subscribe below. If you want to watch Sarah's original video, I will link it in the description along with all of my social media. My first novel, Keep No Record, is still available for purchase on Amazon, and I will link that below as well. And that's it. I'll see y'all next time, and have a great day. Bye.